I went and got my hair cut this morning at Salon 01 in Carmel, Indiana. And I meant to take my camera in and film me getting my hair cut, because I thought that would be a whole lot of fun. But I didn't. She did a nice job. And then I bought this stuff. Most of what I use in my hair, I've been trying a new hair product, but most of what I use is Gauge men's products, which I love. But I've been using this 3/4 cream, but she's been using this alternator by American Crew, which I do not love American Crew products. I just think they're kind of run of the mill. But I really, really like this product for men's hair, or if you have short hair, because you use it and then you blow dry it. And then she puts this paste in there that I like. So I got some of this today. And then there was this cologne, this Blackjack cologne that I wanted really bad. But it was like $73, it came to like $77. And I was like, I am not, like $77 is like, I don't know. That's like a name brand cologne to me. That is not like what you pay for like a hair brand cologne. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you? Like, you know, like I wouldn't buy like a, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know who puts it out. Blackjack puts it out. I don't love Blackjack's products either. In fact, I was just telling my stylist in there, because she bought her fiance the shaving lube, which is actually a really good men's Valentine's Day present. But like the thing is that like when I shave with it, I have a really hard time getting it out of like so I use the shaving cream, which is not called shaving cream, it's called something else. And she was telling me to use the beard lube, and the shaving cream, like, oh my God, there's the most gorgeous gray matte Bentley in the entire world. Oh, I would drive that car in a second. But anyway, I probably would drive any Bentley, but the fact that it's gray matte. See, I can be superficial too. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, more superficial things. The shaving cream, I can't get out of the razor. Like, once I'm like done shaving, like, and I'm rinsing it off, it just won't come out of the razor. It's like the weirdest thing in the entire world. So, I typically just use, are you ready for this? 89 cents a can, Barbasol. And it's like probably my favorite shaving cream. I think it's interesting when you watch like people that like beauty gurus, so to speak, but like people that have like a lot of money, and what do they, like this is like one of my favorite products that Melissa just gave me, but I love them too. And they just like wake you up. It's like this, you see this facial spray? And the way that I got hooked on it was my stepmom carries it with her in her purse like when she flies. And then when she gets off a plane and she feels like gross, it like, now I'm gonna sneeze. It makes her like all dewy, and I love that feeling in the morning to feel all dewy and fresh. Anyway, so that's my morning, and then I have to meet with 2 potential clients this afternoon. And I think I'm gonna take the day off from writing, and I'm not gonna write because I want to open my new computer today. We're having dinner. I need to call my cousin. And I was nervous to go to this dinner tonight. I don't know why. I've never, like this couple I know really, really well that we're going with, but I just have never had dinner with them before. My aunt and uncle's friends. And then Alex told me last night that Caroline's going with us. And I was like, oh, great. I'll be more comfortable that way. So anyway, that is my day today. Making videos. And yeah, that kind of stuff. So, I shall see you in a little bit. The worst part of my life for the last 5 years, seriously, is getting ready to go out. Because nothing ever fits me, because I'm so fat, which is why I've been like dieting forever. And then I'm like, tonight my belt wouldn't loop. And I'm just like so depressed about it. I'm so over it. It's like, why can't anything ever fit me? Do you guys have that problem? And I know people will be like, you're not fat, but I am. Like, I just, like, nothing fits me. Like, this shirt is like a 2XL. It's like the only shirt I could find that would fit me. World problem. I literally fell asleep as soon as we got home from dinner and didn't vlog for the rest of the night. And then I got up at like, I woke up at like 4:45 in the morning because the dogs were all over me, wanting to go out. And then I was like, I got a cup of coffee and drove around. And that's been my exciting day today. And now I'm going to go back inside. And the dogs are going to go crazy. And Alex is going to wake up. And he's going to be like, these dogs. It was interesting that so many people commented on my conversation yesterday where I said that Alex... Oh, can we just say something really quick? I made it through my first month of vlogging every day for the year of 2017. I made it one whole month. Can you believe it? I'm very excited about that. Oh my God. Happy February 1st. So anyway, a lot of people commented on there about Alex not wanting to be on camera and that people respect that. Some people said they really like him on camera. Other people said that you can tell the tension when he's on camera. You know, when Alex is on camera, I don't personally feel like there's a lot of tension, because Alex won't be on camera unless he wants to be. And I want to make that very, very clear. Excuse me. Alex has no problem saying no to anything. And neither do I in the relationship, you know, and I would say that like our first 2 years of the relationship, neither one of us had real good boundaries. So if there was something that I wanted him to do, but he didn't really want to do, and I think that in any relationship, you have to kind of be, you know, willing to be flexible with your partner, and you have to suit up and show up to things, but not everything. Does that make sense? And, you know, there's a lot of things that we each enjoy that the other person doesn't enjoy. And so, like, when we first got together, when we first got together, like, Alex liked to go out a lot. So we were going out a lot when we first got together. And he was young, and I was 36, and he was 24 and straight out of college, you know? And so we would go a lot, and I just didn't, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as we were doing it. And so as the years went on, I would start setting boundaries with that, and I would say, I'm just not going to go out tonight and whatever. And you know, it's the same thing with the YouTube thing. Like, I have to feel like he can respect those boundaries and say to me, like, what he really wants to do and feel comfortable with it. But I don't want anybody, like, thinking that, like, I was reading some of the comments and I was like, okay, so it's a double-edged sword, because, like, I say that I want to be really honest on here, but then I think people take it the wrong way. Just because I have a conversation with my husband and he says, I don't want to be on camera, doesn't mean that we're, like, fighting and not getting along. I just want to make that very clear. Like, that was not what happened. Like, Alex was just like, babe, I'm just not comfortable being on camera. And we sat and we laid in bed and talked about it. And he was like, you know, I feel like a lot of times when, like, right as soon as I walk, Alex works a lot. I don't, okay? And I work, you know, like, remotely. So, like, I have my office, but I'm at home a lot. And I'm making videos and writing and seeing clients and going to their offices and going to my office. And so my day looks different than his. I mean, his day is like same place, 8 to 12 hours every day, you know? Mine is like drive here, drive there. I have a lot of free time. I sleep in, things like that. So to come home after 8 or 12 hours, and then he walks in the door, and I'm like, oh, I was going to pull up my camera, but I'm filming on it. And to be like, hi, how are you? Like, he's like, enough, you know? And what's really interesting is that, like, I can remember, like, before, like, my parents, like, years before they got divorced or separated, I must have been really little, because I was, like, 6 when they got separated. But I remember, like, my dad coming in the door, and my mom coming in and saying something like, well, I wanted to ask you about this, this, and this. And my dad being like, can you please just let me get in the door before you start bombarding me with all your questions about all the stuff that needs to get fixed? And, like, I don't want to be that husband. And so, like, if we're going to brunch, or we're going to his family's house, or we're going to Miami, or we're traveling out of town for the weekend because we're going to go to, like Chicago in a couple weeks. Like, those are moments that he doesn't mind being filmed. Like, he made that very clear. He's like, like if we're out to dinner, or if we're with Melissa, or, we're going, out of town, he was like, feel free to film that. Like, those are things that we're doing together. But just to like turn on the camera at the end of the day, he was like, I don't know that I really need to be part of that. And I respect that, and like, Alex isn't somebody that like comes home and is like super active anyway. Like, he comes home, he lays on the couch, he watches 2 or 3 TV shows, he hangs out with me and the dogs, and we talk and stuff like that. And then he goes to bed pretty early. I mean, he goes to bed early every night, like 10:30, and then is up the next day at like 7 a.m. So, but I just want to make that clear. Like, it wasn't an argument between us. Does that make sense? Like, Alex and I have been together almost 10 years. I mean, we are able to have conversations about things that are not arguments. And if you're in a relationship, that's called good communication. And I just hope that you can get to that point, because I think that solves, when you can sit down and have a conversation with somebody and say, listen, this is how I feel. And then you shut your mouth, and then you go, okay. And then that person shares, and you go, okay, I respect what you have to say. What do we need to do about it? Like, that's how you make a relationship last. Does that make sense? Like, you're not going to always get along. You're not going to always agree on everything. So I just wanted to make that clear, because I didn't want people to think that, like, I want to be honest on this channel, but I also don't want people to think that, like, if I'm honest, then they're like, uh-oh, something's going to happen. So for the, a lot of people were really encouraging in the comments and said, like, oh, I'm glad that you respect Alex's opinion, and we love him on the channel, but if that means that he doesn't want to be on there, and I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. But anyway, we're fine, is what I'm saying. If that's the worst fight that we have all month, that's great. We don't really fight. Like, we just don't. Like, I remember back, like, our first year, like, do you know, like, when you first get together with somebody and you, like, really fight? Like, really fight. You know what I mean? We never had physical fights. Alex and I have never physically fought. We've gotten, like, our tone has gotten violent, but, like, not violent. Our tone has gotten nasty, but we've never, like, physically fought. So one of the things that I got asked on the Q&A the other day, and I didn't answer it in the video, but I wanted to address it in here, was that somebody asked me, does Alex's drinking bother me? And so I think it's actually a really pertinent question, because I talk about my sobriety on my channel a lot. And so I thought, well, I'll just address it in here and talk about it, and if people want to know. And a lot of sober people watch my channel, which I think is awesome. So, hey, family. I will tell you that I didn't know what I was getting into when I first started dating Alex. My ex did not drink or do anything at all. And in fact, I found out later that wasn't the case. But there were things going on behind my back that I was not aware of. That was very painful for me. But with Alex, like, Alex does not like drugs. He drinks. He drank a lot when we first met, and it was messy at times. I mean, Alex was just 24 when we started dating. And I think, like, I was kind of excited by all of the craziness and all that kind of stuff, but, like, he doesn't drink like that today. He, like, if he goes out, like, after work with, like, a girlfriend of his, they'll, like, go to some, like, upscale steakhouse and sit in the bar and have, like, a glass of wine, and then he comes home. And somebody asked me, like, does the smell of alcohol in Alex's breath bother you? No. I'll tell you why it bothers me when it does. Okay, first of all, Alex drinks red wine, so red wine doesn't, like, the smell of it doesn't really bother me. I don't like the smell of white wine. And white wine reminds me of my mom putting me to bed when I was a little kid. And I would always smell, like, that smell of white wine on her breath. And so I don't like the smell of white wine. That's what bothers me, and that's why I mentioned that in the video. But Alex and I kind of have a rule that about brushing our teeth before we go to bed anyway. And so, like, and even though I sometimes smell it, it doesn't really bother me. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, the things that would bother me, he doesn't do. because it's like, okay, so like if he would go out and drink a lot and drive, that would bother me. Like that would be irresponsible. But Alex takes Ubers or has somebody else drive. But Alex doesn't drink the way that he used to anymore. So it doesn't really, like, he partied. Like, there's a difference between, I think, having a glass of wine and partying. I don't know, does that make sense? And he's very respectful of it. Like, when we go out of town and we go to music festivals, if he's just with me for the night, he doesn't drink. Like, because I think he's kind of like, what's the point? You know, like, Peter doesn't drink, I don't need to drink. So, and it was interesting because, like, the first year after we got together, I'm about to tell him myself, I said something to him about, like, taking a month off and not drinking. Because, you know, like, I recommend that on my channel sometimes. And so, like, for that year of November, so it would have been, like, we started dating in August. It would have been the following November. He didn't drink for, I think it was, like, 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, it kind of pissed me off because we would go out and he would dance the whole night and talk to all these people and never drank, had a great time, had just as good a time as if he would drink. And in exchange, I was supposed to clean out our basement, which I never show on videos because it's a complete pit, because it's all of my shit and all of my mom's shit from before she passed away, and it's an unfinished basement. And I was supposed to clean that basement out in that time that he was not drinking. Like, we had, like, each asked us to do this for the other person. And I really wanted him to not drink just so he could see what it was like to go a month without drinking. So at the end of it, what he learned was that he can have just as much fun drinking as he can not drinking. So he was like, if I want to have a drink, I'm going to have a drink. I'm not going to complain about it, or I'm not going to make it an issue. And like I said, he's always really respectful of me. It's like if we go out, he'll be like, do you care if I have a couple drinks? I'm like, no. And there are times that, like, it does bother me, you know, like, it doesn't bother me, but, like, I'll say, like, not today. Like, when we went to my aunt's funeral, I was like, please, like, I don't want to sit there at the end of the day, like, all my family drinks. I didn't want to sit there at the end of the night and it be like me sober and everybody around me drunk. So Alex really watched what he drank. He didn't drink a lot at my aunt's funeral, like the party afterwards. He was really respectful of that. But what's interesting about this is, so that 4 to 6 weeks that he didn't drink, guess who never cleaned the basement? 8 years later, that basement is still a complete mess, okay? And he let me just tell you, he lets me remind him of that on a regular basis. I think some things that work for us as a couple are that we always kiss each other goodnight. We always kiss each other goodbye in the morning. We're very affectionate towards each other. Somebody asked me that the other day. We're big huggers. We say I love you a lot. We text all day long. Somebody was saying to me today, they're like, you and Alex text like it's your first year together. Like, we still text, like, all day long. Like, hey, babe, how are you? How's your day going? Oh, my God, you know, you looked cute this morning when I left for work, things like that. You know, we're still very, like, cutesy with each other like that. I think that's important to keep the passion going. We're always planning things together, whether it's, like, the weekend. Like, I was just saying to him tonight before we went to bed, because we both went to bed at the same time tonight. I said, are you doing anything this weekend? And he was like, no, I don't have any plans. Sometimes he has work stuff on the weekend. And I said, oh, we get to spend the whole weekend together. And he was like, well, we should plan some stuff to do that would be fun. And so I was like, yeah, let's plan some fun stuff to do. So we're going to, like, go to the zoo or something. That will be a video or something like that. I'd like to do something. We haven't done anything like that in a long time. So that would be fun. But we're always kind of trying to plan stuff together. Alex and I have lots of dates, and I think this is really important for keeping a relationship intact, is going on dates, dressing, looking cute, which is I'm not great at, because sometimes at the end of the day, I still, like, just have on what I had on the night before. Like, it was funny because we went to dinner tonight with our my aunt and uncle's friends, and then my cousin Caroline was there, and I, like, you know, like, you heard me complaining about how I have nothing to wear, but, like, I showed up and Alex was like, you look really handsome. I was like, thanks. He was like, your hair looks really nice. You got it done today. I was like, thanks. So anyway, I think it's important to look good for the other person. I think it's good to still, you know, look attractive for them. I think it's important to go on dates and have romantic dates. You have to keep the passion alive, you know? Like, I think at some point in a lot of relationships, you just get comfortable with each other and you become roommates, you become friends, and nobody wants that. I think that you have to continue to, like, stay in lust and passion with each other, you know? And then when you can, the communication pieces about things like the trash or, you know, the drinking or whatever, or the not being on YouTube videos is easy to have because you're still, like, so in love with that person that you want to protect the relationship, you know? But, like, I vowed when I got on here that I wasn't going to do some fake BS, you know, kind of thing. And what was really interesting to me was that I had forgotten something and somebody reminded me of it on the comment. So thank you, whoever you are that said it. I should look you up right now, actually. I was just reading it. I don't know who you are, but thank you for this comment. Said that a lot of YouTubers do YouTube together as couples, and then they end up breaking up. And they're like, in the last year, there have been so many couples and gay couples that have broken up doing YouTube together. And I don't want that to be Alex and I. You know, like, he has a lot of passions that I love watching from afar, and like, he's a dancer, and when we first got together, like the first couple years, he was part of this dance group and this like hip-hop dance group, and you know, I would go to the shows and I loved it. And you know, there's so many things that Alex is part of that I love watching from afar, but like, I don't have to be in it. And he's like that with YouTube. Like, it's so funny, I'll be like downstairs on the computer like uploading things, and I can hear him like watching my videos upstairs in bed, and I'm like, you watch my videos? And I think that's so cute, right? He was like, I watch all of your videos. And I was like, you used to act like you didn't watch my videos. And he was like, I never said I didn't watch your videos. I watch all your videos. I love watching your videos. So that makes me proud, you know, that like he likes, I don't know, it makes me proud. And it just kind of makes me have to like figure out like, okay, so if we're not going to be on camera as this couple every day together, then what can I do on the vlog that would be different? And I've had Tanya on here, and Melissa, and the dogs, and you know, there's lots of characters on the Peter Vlog show, so it's not like it just has to be Alex. But you know, I don't know, I'm glad that we had the conversation, because I think when you don't have conversations about things that are bothering one person or the other, that's when they blow up into huge arguments, you know. And I don't want to be that YouTube couple that looks great on camera, but then you're breaking up because you guys just, that's come first. For what? That makes me sad. We've made it 8.5 years. It's a long time, you know. I love him. I mean, he's my life. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.